This is my Minnesota Twins hat, which is yet another team that has never quite propelled themselves into much fame for some time. And even if the T, I think, looks a little bit like the Tampa Bay logo, and the C definitely looks a lot like the Cincinnati Reds logo, this hat represents none other than America's favorite Twin Cities, Minneapolis and St. Paul. I got this in a Northwestern gear store in downtown Evanston, sort of a little hole in the wall, and I walked in there seeing if there was possibly anything that would humor me. I was mostly expecting it to be Northwestern gear with a little bit of Chicago Bears and Cubs and White Sox stuff thrown in for good measure, which it mostly was when I was first walking around, until I finally saw a man walking up from the basement, which until then I had not realized existed. So I went down into the basement, and I was surrounded by almost a Hall of Mirrors-like structure. I got lost a little easily, and I was in the meantime surrounded by shot glasses and fraternity and sorority hats and other such things that would only appeal to Northwesterners, until I finally came to the very back of the store, an abandoned checkout counter with all of the collegiate and pro sports hats that one could ever desire. And using my aforementioned etiquette instinct, I decided that I could do none other than buy a hat. And it took me a while to decide, but something inside me told me that this was the best one around. And this is sort of an odd way to end it. As you can see, I'm not really a big fan of flat-headed hats, just as much as I dislike fitted hats. And so I ordered this online when I began to realize it really wasn't quite what I wanted. It started out pretty flat build, but I tried rubber banding it around a softball to put a curve in it. As you can see, I sort of messed it up. So I decided that I would finally pony up a few more dollars so I could order this hat right here. This is the Seattle Mariners, as were the last hat. I know that grammar was not right. And I don't know why I decided that this is going to be my new hat. Sort of the Buzz Lightyear of my hats. My new favorite. Other than the fact that Seattle has actually become one of my favorite cities outside of sweet home Chicago. More on that in a future Munro Minute episode. That's about all I have to say about my hat collection. I couldn't possibly go through all of the hats that were sitting around in my house. That would just take forever. So I decided to go through all the ones that were most nominally mine, and the ones that I thought were most important to me and hopefully most interesting to you. I know this was a little more anecdotal than some of the other Munro Minutes I've put out in the past. But in any event, I hope you enjoyed this, and hopefully I will be back very soon with some new Munro Minutes on some brand new topics. Thanks very much. Take care.